6.3 Two-way tables. Two-way tables is a way of organizing our data and information in a table form over here. So sometimes that information is given to you in the tables. Sometimes it's just given to you outside the tables. So right now we're looking at, Liam and Noah noted how many downloads they made during the month of August. So this information is for August. And so what we want to do is maybe give yourself a pause and make this part of the table. So we're kind of making a 3x3 grid. Sometimes we leave this box open, and a lot of times they do, but you can put a box in there, just make it 3x3, and then label them Leah, Noah, MP3 and an MP4. Those are just different ways of downloading music or some type of audio. So once back, we can look at this. So 28 is Liam at an MP3. So we're going to find that intersection of Liam and MP3, and that is our 28 for our number. Noah has 32 MP3s, so we're going to put a 32 in that box. Now Liam for MP4 has 15 in his downloads, and Noah had 12 downloads. So now what we can do with our data is we want to find, and that'll be useful, but to answer a lot of these questions that are given, we want to find the totals. Now, what's interesting is we don't have just totals going one direction. We have totals going both directions, because that's what the two-way means, is that there are two sets of totals. So what we're going to do is just extend each of those, and sometimes you see them in a big box area. Sometimes you just see them open-ended, but a lot of times you just add them up. So 28 plus 32, so 8 plus 2 is 10, regroup is 50, 60. Then we've got 7 and 27. Now what we can do is total that up. So the total number of downloads will be in this box down here. So that'll be 87 total downloads. Now what's kind of neat is you should be able to, these two totals should add up to 87 both ways. So now if we add, going for Liam's total, 8 plus 5 is 13, 30 plus one more is 40, and that would be a 4 in the ones place, and 44, and 43 plus 44 is 47. So it kind of gives you a second double check that you've done your addition right. So we've done our the two-way table. Now, who downloaded the most in August? So we know that this is the August, and we could think of the total here. Oh wait, that's the total of the MP3s. We want the total of who? So that's Liam's total of 43 or Noah's total of 44. So Noah has more. And if they explained why, I probably would state that Noah had one more than Liam. So, we need the C question is what fraction? So I'm going to set up my fraction of Liam's downloads were MP4s. Okay, so in reading this, we need, if I'm thinking about a fraction, I want the total down on the bottom, because that's where the total goes, the part over the whole. So our total for Liam's downloads is 43. So I'll write down the 43 there. That was Liam again. We were just looking at that information. And we want to know how many were MP4s. So Liam's MP4s was 15. So our total, or our fraction, would be 15/43. Now, D question is what fraction of Noah's downloads were MP3? Oh, so Noah's downloads. So I'm going to write that fraction. And Noah's downloads was, his total was 44. Sometimes I start with the 12. I'm like, so the 12 MP4s are on top, and his total are 44 total. That would be on the bottom. Now, you notice with fractions and all fractions is we have to simplify them. So what goes, we always simplify. We don't leave them just like that. We always simplify our fractions. So 44 and 12, well, I know 4 goes into both. 4 goes into 44 11 times. 4 goes into 12, 4 goes into 12 3 times. So MP3s, oh, wait a minute. I used the wrong one, and that's the tricky part. So there's a lot of data here. So I was double checking. I kind of looked over here and said, hey, MP3s, that's this column. So I want to use the 32 for Noah. So I'm going to back myself up and do a little erasing. Still have that fraction bar. I need to use that 32. So it's really important to be careful about that. And I'm going to kind of box that one in, and this one too. 44 was my total, so I was right on that one. But I grabbed the wrong number because I want the MP3s for my problem. So, they both are still divisible by 4, though. So I'll divide both by 4, so that would be 8 over 11. Now, other ways that we can write this ratio is 8 out of 11. So that's another way we could write that fraction or as a ratio. We could also, I've seen it 8:11. So it depends on what is. This one does say a fraction, so it would ask for this fraction piece of it, or the answer as a fraction. So now I'm going to be kind of more careful on this last one. So I'm going to look for the MP4s. Okay, so let's see. What fraction of all downloads, all downloads, were MP4s? So I thought about that earlier, and all downloads was over here. So this is the total downloads, all downloads. And we want the MP4s, which is this column here. So we'll look down here, and the total of that is 27. So our fraction's going to be 27 over 87. Now, most people would look at that and go, I'm done, because it's an odd number. But remember, most people see that the even numbers are divisible by 2, but there's also this divisibility by 3. And 27 we can see is divisible by 3 because that's part of our multiplication facts, but 87, I don't know. And the divisibility rule of that 3 is 8, you add the digits. So 8 plus 7 is 15, and 15 is divisible by 3. So 87 is divisible by 3. And I'll divide the top by 3 too. So 27 divided by 3 is 9. And when we divide, that one is a little bit more complicated, so I'll set it up in my long division. 3 goes into 8 twice, so minus 6 of them. There's my 27 again, so that's 9. I didn't know that. 3 times 29 is 87. But I can see that by adding the digits. And if that number is divisible by 3, then that bigger number is divisible by 3. That's kind of a cool little strategy to use. And now 9 only has 3s, and I know 27 isn't, or 29 isn't, because 27 is. And that's not, the next one would be 30. So 9 out of 27 would be the fraction of downloads that were MP4s. And that is how you use the data in your two-way table to help you kind of organize a lot of different information.